in this event is fantastic, but unfortunately we don't have the numbers. So definitely a good idea from Bahamas Federation to bring everything together. So we have 2 weeks of 13 and 17.
Definitely, and I think it gives the younger girls a chance to race with the older girls here. So generally, as you get a little bit older, you get a little bit faster, and then you get to my age and you stop.
Oh man, this 800 it brings back memories. Because my coach is always a firm believer of swimming everything at least once.
Yep.
So
I'm pretty sure I've done every single race except for a 200 breaststroke.
that's the best one.
No. Mm-mm. That would take me hours, I think.
Same with the 200 backstroke. I remember looking at the clouds and being like,
This is lovely. How enjoyable. Yeah, if you could do every race in the Bahamas or in Jamaica,
yeah.
I would probably still swim. Never mind, don't quote that.
Masters is coming up in Trinidad for Canal.
Nope.
We might see you there.
Nope. I have hung up all of my swimsuits.
Oh,
So you won't see me out there.
won't see you out there. These ladies are doing fantastic. Between lanes 5 and 9, they're pretty much staying together, which is what you want during this race. You don't want anybody to get too far ahead of you that you can't catch them in the latter part of the race.
It's definitely a balance because you don't want to trust everybody to be going the right pace, but you also don't want to go fast and then potentially burn out towards the end of the race. So definitely looks like these girls are pacing each other and staying well together. So
we're definitely going to see lane 4, Adriana Argent, taking out that early lead. She is 17, so she is a professional.
Yes,
in
yep.
this event.
Yep, and then I know she will probably be looking to try and potentially get top 8 and beat some of the ladies tonight. It looks like the majority of the ladies racing tonight would be in that 15, 17 category. So definitely look out for her to kind of take a little bit of a lead.
It's definitely going to be a great race this afternoon as well. The majority of the ladies are under 10 minutes, and we saw Harper who did it last year. She's going to be very close to the record. So definitely come back this afternoon and join us for this final.
Yeah, very excited for that race. And we've got Harper, who was first in the category last year, and then Heidi Stout right next to her, who was 13-14. So I hope to see those two kind of battle it out this evening in that 800 freestyle.
It's weird. A lot of people think distance events are boring, but if you swim it right, it's such a competitive event. A lot of mindset, a lot of physical and mental strain, but if they're swimming for 10 minutes
yeah.
at a good pace.
I have a lot of respect for distance swimmers. It is not an easy thing to do. A lot of their training is dealing in pacing and making sure that you can pace yourself in a race, because as we were saying, it can be very easy to watch somebody else do their race and potentially hurt your own. So trying to stay in your own lane.
Yeah.
Is that where that saying came from? Stay in your lane?
Yes, I think so.
I just put that together.
Oh man, no, distance is fantastic. Unlike the 50, where you have to work so hard to drop like 0.01 into your lesson. For distance events, if you can get a faster pace, even if it's by like, instead of holding 31 threes, if you can hold 31 O's, you're going to see a huge drop
right
at the end of your race.
Right, yeah, it definitely. A lot of that training as well, not just as pacing, but figuring out how you can hold a faster pace as you keep going on and continuing, because it's very difficult balance between it. What can you endure, if you will, and get faster through? So,
yeah. How fast you can go while holding your tempo,
right?
It look efficient.
Especially with long races, it's really important to hold your technique together too. When you start to see your stroke falling apart, that's when it gets harder. So you're tired and you're making it harder.
It's so much easier to see in butterfly.
Oh yeah, yeah.
Arms just not stop.
You see the back hips dragging, and then it's over. Over. I've been there. Over.
Oh man.
You feel like a piano's on your back.
Just about. Lane 5, LeBlanc is going to take that early lead, but she is being challenged definitely by Lewis and Barlett in lane 7 from Bahamas and Barlett from Barbados. We're going to have a new leader as we turn, and it is lane 7, Lewis.
That's amazing. Lewis is 14 years old, so her being out in the lead right now is really incredible. She's got a lot of competition still. This race is never over until they touch the wall.
Yeah.
You often see in world championships and the Olympics, they're all usually collectively together, and at the very end, it's somebody that has a little bit more in the tank that ends up pulling away.
It's amazing when you look at the end of the races at World Champs and Olympics. It looks like a sprint.
Yeah, definitely. They turn on those boosters, and
unbelievable.
The last 50 can sometimes be as fast as the first 50.
Yes.
It's insane.
The last competition in Doha, we had the Ireland guy, the first time he won for himself and for the country. And he came back in like a 24 at the end of his 800. That's such power.
For those at home that don't really know time,
wow,
24 was my fastest 50 freestyle ever. So,
and he's coming back to the end of an 800, end of 8 minutes of swimming to finish with a 24.
That is impressive. That is incredibly impressive.
Unbelievable.
I think that now we've got a lot of women swimmers across the world that are really taking advantage of the 800 freestyle, 400 freestyle. And
yes.
So I hope that within the Caribbean, these girls are seeing it and saying, okay, I can be cool in a distance event. I think what you were saying earlier in the Caribbean, we like to lean into the sprint.
Yeah.
But distance is where it's at sometimes.
The only one I can think of that made it high enough on the international scene is Janelle Atkinson from Jamaica. She did the 400, 800, and she's very successful. But we haven't seen anybody continue past that 200 in a while.
Yep. I definitely think there is a gap when it gets older in the Caribbean. People tend to trend down in their events. So would love to see some more distance swimmers. We have Joanna from the Bahamas. She was a distance swimmer. She's excellent. So love to see somebody follow in her footsteps and continue on the tradition there.
Yeah, definitely. We have Forbes from Barbados that has been doing very well. I remember talking to him and saying how difficult it is to do distance in the Caribbean. You don't have the competition. You don't have the competition as well, and the competitors. And it's just like, why bother when I can do a 200 or 100?
Yeah, exactly.
What's the point? But we do have a race at the end of this 800. As we said, 1, 2, 3. It's still anybody's race. As we go under the flags and touching the wall, we have 100 left. There's the bells, if you can hear it. And it is a race. Like we said, we won't see these girls coming back in 24s. But
if they do, I'm throwing in the white flag. Yeah, you can hear the energy in the crowd. Everybody's getting behind these. We've got a race between the top 3 here. Looks like lane number 9 is really coming down the home stretch here too.
Yeah, Bartlett from Barbados is trying to hold on to that 3rd position, but it is Lewis and LeBlanc trying to push the lead. These girls, top 2, are 14 years old.
Absolutely incredible to see these two. And based on their entry times, it looks like they're going to be a lot faster than what they were entered in. So
you can see Trinidad really trying to push their teammate forward, followed by Bahamas. It's really going to be anybody's race. The good thing about this morning is that Bahamas is trying for their another Carifta win. And it really is a testament if they can get this first heat. If they can get a win this big, it would really push the rest of the team in a good progression towards that heat.
Absolutely. And these two girls are looking at podium positions potentially with these times.
Nice. 10:06. A very good drop.
And just a 1/10 of a second separates the top 2 there. That's absolutely insane for them to swim a whole race. You know, you talk about 10 minutes and 0.1 of a second. That's basically the difference between first and second.
That is amazing. Look at that. Who can get their hands on the wall? It doesn't matter if it's a 50 or 100. 800 is just as important. We have Leah Lewis from lane 7 for Bahamas getting her hands on the wall with a 10:06.88. Fantastic swim for Bahamas to get their spot for that first event out.
I tell you what, I'm going to be as great as I can at being unbiased here, but it's tough when the Bahamas is going for, I think, number 6 in terms of Carifta Championship. So we are, it's going to be tough for me to not start screaming. So you might want to mute your TVs.
And this afternoon, our top seed is Harper, but coming in for that 3rd position, we do have that Bahamian Mia Passon. So we could see a top 3, hopefully first, second, or 3rd, but we never know. But yeah, we can have them back again.
And now we have the men's 1500, so a little bit longer of a race, but still absolutely exciting to watch. And the sponsor for this race is the Lewis Scholarship. So they are sponsoring this men's 1500 freestyle race. It looks like the majority of this race is actually going to be right in that 13-14 race, or in that category. And then Tristan Ferguson of the Bahamas is 17-year-old. So while he's racing with these gentlemen, he is also going to be trying to race with the heat tonight to make sure that he can be a top 3 in that.
I always used to love the men's 1500 because you can definitely see their strength. It's not about the tempo, but all about that strength in the catch and the pull.
Yep. You will see a lot of times in distance freestyles, really the legs aren't used as much for propulsion as they are for balancing the body and keeping really your hips high. The legs are usually, they are the strongest muscle that we're using when we're swimming, and so you want to make sure you're not using them, you're not hammering them in a race like this, because that will fatigue you very quickly.
Very quickly.
It's also interesting because a lot of times in distance races, you can see 10 different freestyle strokes. It's the saying of there's a million different ways to do something correctly. So watching this race, and you can see some of them have a little bit of a higher elbow when they're coming around. Some of them have a lower one. Yeah. Just really depending on your strengths, really.
It really is a great teaching tool as well for all of you guys that are looking at CARIFTA and wondering how you can reach here one day. Look at the freestylers, look at all the different strokes and the disciplines, and learn. Learning is the biggest thing I've seen. Either it's videos from Olympics, but I think CARIFTA is a great place to start.
I agree, and it's amazing because these people are in your backyard.
Yes.
Right? You get to train with these people on a daily basis that are where you want to be. And I remember training to go to the Olympics. One of the things my coach always said is, if you want to be the best, you have to beat the best.
Very true.
So training, a lot of times, I'm racing the boys because I want to be fast. I want to be as fast as possible.
Yeah. Coming from a CARIFTA background, how do you think it has trained you mentally and physically for the international stage?
I think what's really cool about CARIFTA is that it gives our age groupers an opportunity for their first introduction into an international meet. You don't, a lot of times other countries don't have a chance to race against other countries. They're racing within their own country. And so whether it's at this level at CARIFTA, you are on the world stage. You are competing under your country's flag. And that alone, it can be stressful if it's your first time.
Yeah.
And knowing that you are representing and flying the flag of your country on your cap and on your swimsuit sometimes.
Yeah, it was really exciting because this is the first time you're away from home.
Yeah,
you're in a village, right with your other teammates. You get to see what everybody else does.
Yep.
And I think it was so fascinating just to watch the other teams and to be like an 11 and 12-year-old, and you're like, okay, what am I eating today? Do I have to go to bed? No, I don't, because my mother's not touching me.
Yep.
So it really teaches the athletes at a very young age that discipline and accountability.
Absolutely. Yeah, it's definitely a challenge. I know I was probably a nightmare to deal with as my first year. I'm away from home and all my friends are there, and I want to go and see everybody. But I want to say a very big thank you to the chaperones of the CARIFTA teams. I know it is not always easy to deal with from 11 all the way up. It's definitely a difficult task. So thank you.
They are underrated.
Yes.
Wow.
Yep. The coaches usually get a lot of the thanks, but it takes a village.
It really does. Yeah.
It's also, CARIFTA is a great way to meet people from other countries. Ali and I know each other from CARIFTA and then continue to go on to other meets. And especially when you get onto the bigger scale, your nation's team gets smaller. Having a face that you recognize is so important. So,
very important. Very important. These aren't just competitors. You're looking at your teammates essentially when you reach Olympics and Worlds.
Yep.
Because you don't really know anybody else.
Right. And you're going in when with countries like the U.S., Canada, Australia, they have big contingencies.
Yes.
And it can feel very intimidating. So we would always set up our little camp with all those Caribbean islands that were competing and be near each other, so that we had a home base that we felt there was a big crew behind us.
Yes. It does. It's fantastic for the mentality and to ease your stress coming in, because it can be so stressful being away from home. You're having all these expectations. You're hearing expectations from home and your parents and your coaches and yourself. So to have this and to have people of like-minded that grew up with you, know the challenges, know everything that you went through, to be like, it's okay. You're gonna do great today.
Absolutely, yeah. It's definitely, it becomes a family, really.
Yes.
When you look at it and knowing somebody from the age of 11 and then continuing to know them. I don't know very many friendships that last that long.
No.
So.
No. We're gonna have these two gentlemen moving away from the pack.
It's definitely amazing to see when you watch it and you're seeing some of the men pull away. But it still is a long race. We still have probably about 10 minutes left of this race. So a lot can happen in 10 minutes.
A lot can happen, but it is Cayman. Lennox moving in for that top spot, trying to move away from the rest of the pack, trying to be dominant because he does have his time that he needs to make to be competitive for the finals this afternoon.
You know, Cayman is really doing a great job with their swimmers. We talked about Harper Barrowman that's coming up tonight in the 800 freestyle. And then Lennox is here, 13 years old from the Cayman Islands, and really just showing what he's got here. And that's really exciting. Cayman is truly doing a great job with their swim program.
Considering he is so dominant in this race, we're probably going to see him in that 400 and hopefully in that 200 as well as at 800. So definitely look out for him to make his mark within his 13-14 category.
Absolutely, and we might even see him in the open water event. Usually these 1500 or milers end up also doing open water, which is an incredible event as well in and of itself. It's a separate Olympic event as well, so it's always an opportunity to make the Olympic team in that route as well.
Which is probably why I just understood why the 1500 is today. So you have a nice break before the 5K coming up.
That's why Alia's the smart one out of this.
Wow. Took a while though.
I just figured out why stay in your lane was a thing. Definitely makes sense, because open water will be on that final day of competition. And I don't know about any of y'all, but if you try your best for 18 to 20 minutes, that will take a lot out of you. So being able to have 4 more days to recover from that is definitely important. But keep in mind, we're probably going to see most of these gentlemen again in the 400 freestyle, more than the bare minimum.
Yes.
Also amazing that Lennox is only 13.
Only 13.
So he's got a big future ahead of him.
Yes.
He's definitely pulling away here from the group and making himself known.
Cayman does every year that Flowers event, which is a fantastic international open water event. So I'm sure he's gotten a lot.
Maybe that will be my return.
Open water?
No. But I can pretend.
Oh, for sure.
I just want to go to Cayman.
That'll do it. That'll do it.
Maybe I'll enter, but not do it.
Just go on vacation.
That's a potential. I have been playing around with the idea of starting to train for triathlon. The problem is, I hate running.
Always. Always.
I don't want to run.
You rarely find a swimmer that loves to run. It's not fun on the knees.
No. And while I realize that staring at a black line for the majority of your life is quite boring, I find running a little boring.
Yes. There is something serene and tranquil about the swimming. Following the black line.
Yep.
Running, that's a whole different beast.
Yeah. Maybe one day I'll get there. So we're passing just under 10 minutes here the race, and you know, this Cayman kid is really just continuing to distance himself from the rest of the group.
His previous time is at 18:08. I'm sure he's looking to go under that, but it is all him swimming on his own.
this could be a really huge swim for him this morning. And then looking at this evening's heat, really, I think there's only one other swimmer that would be competing against him, who is entered at an 18:05. So if Lennox can get under that 18:05, he probably has a good shot of being the champion.
Yeah.
And what people need to also remember is that while being first is really incredible, at a meet like Carifta, where you're also competing as a team, you want to get points for your country. So first is amazing because you get the gold medal, but you want to make sure that you're still racing. It's never over. And getting points on the board, regardless of what place it is, can really mean the difference in your country winning or not winning.
Every point matters on this. And it's really fantastic to watch these athletes. It's the first day, it's the second event. A lot of these guys have 4 days of competition, but they are standing up and supporting their teammates in this 1500.
It's not an easy race. You are alone in your lane for 18 minutes. So to be able to look over and see one of your teammates waving you on for my short stint as an 800 freestyler, I will recall. I'm fairly certain that a Carifta, I think maybe Carifta in the Bahamas, gonna age myself, 2003, 2002. I think I swam 100 to the 800.
You probably did. You probably did.
I'm glad I did it. It builds character.
You always have that one workhorse in every team. And it is 10 more laps for Lennox. And he is looking really fresh.
His stroke is really kept together. He hasn't really changed anything.
Yeah.
I've not seen any sort of like falling apart. I will say he is swimming very close to that lane line, which could help his competitor. If he was closer, they can draft off of each other. I know people talk about drafting in running and in cycling, but you can also do it in swimming, and it can gas you a lot if the person that is drafting off of you're almost carrying their weight a little bit.
Just about, yeah. And funny enough, he is circle swimming. So usually in practice, you circle swim because of the number of other teammates with you. So you swim down on one side and you come back up on the other. However, in competition, you really want to stay on that black line because if you circle swim, you're actually swimming more than the 1500.
I would be interested to know the math on like how many extra meters you're doing.
Yeah.
Because it seems insignificant, but
for 1500,
that adds up.
Yes, it does.
Just as you were saying earlier, when you're trying to go faster and you can do a 31:50 freestyle and you can bring that down to maybe a 29:5 or something, that adds up as well. You can hear those Bahamian cowbells in the background.
We have Tristan from Bahamas in lane 4. He's holding on for that second position.
And remember, Tristan is 17, so he would be in a different age group than Lennox is. So he's also competing to try and be top 8 within that 15-17 category. You know, I just took a peek ahead, and it looks like we've got Lennox swimming again in the 200 breaststroke in maybe, 20 minutes?
It warms my heart to see not just multiple disciplines, like multiple strokes, but disciplines as well. So you have the 1500, you have the 200, you have freestyle, you have breaststroke. Because a lot of young athletes like to say, I am this, and I am only this.
Yep.
When in reality, that's not true. I was a backstroker up until I was 12. I cannot do backstroke to save my life.
I think I've seen you do backstroke in like the warm down pool, and
yes,
I am shocked to hear that you were ever a backstroker.
Right? It's amazing. But if I didn't do all 4 strokes, if I didn't do the IM, the 400 IM, the 800s, I wouldn't have been such a strong competitor throughout the rest of my career.
Definitely. Learning how to swim other races swimming other races is not just about doing the race, but it's a lot about learning about yourself and what you're capable of. And I think, when you're doing practice, you hear a lot about the different people and training groups and sprint and distance, but being able to understand that my body is capable of doing this can change your mentality.
Yes. Yes.
And it for me, it's even wilder because we were talking about like the different distances, but I don't know that I've seen somebody that can do the mile and the 200 breaststroke.
Yeah,
Those are complete opposite.
complete opposite. And he's dominant in this 1500. We're going to see him in the 200 later. But
do you think he's thinking about that 200 he has later?
Not at all. Not at all. I think at the beginning, you know your schedule. So you know, okay, I have the 1500. I have maybe 10 minutes before that 200, 15 minutes with warm down. And I'm going to focus on that after this race. So I'm going to put everything I have into this 1500 after this is finished, warm down, mentally prep for that 200.
It's definitely a learning experience because you can see some kids that will think about the next step, but you really got to stay in that one event until you're done with it and go to the next. We see it a lot in the world stage where we have, because of scheduling, there's somebody that can be in a semifinal of event, and then 20 minutes later they have their final.
Yes.
And so him being able to do this at 13 years old is gonna, I think, prepare him for tough schedules in the future.
It's a huge character development for him. A really great job with the management team and his coaching staff to basically tell him at a young age, you have no limits.
As some of my friends like to say, all gas, no brakes.
There is the cowbell. He has 100 left. That's 2 more laps for Lennox.
And he is currently, what, a minute and 30 seconds under his entry time?
He's going to go a good 17. I think for him, he's definitely trying to make a mark and to show these 15 and 17-year-olds in the finals tonight that he is a force to be reckoned with.
That is absolutely amazing, the swim he's having right now. And really, I think we might see best times in lane number 4 from Tristan Ferguson as well, because he is not that far behind in the scheme of things.
50 left to go for Lennox. He's turning in a 17:11.
Yeah, so I mean, we're probably looking at a high 17 minute here, and that would be a close to a minute drop.
Yeah.
His team is standing up, cheering him on, pushing him to the end here.
Beautiful tempo. He kept it throughout the entire 1500.
Look at him turn on. Look, he's flying into the wall.
Coming in, he's going to stop it with a 7:46.
Wow.
Beautiful swim for Lennox.
He's entered with an 18:08. So we are looking at what? I'm terrible at math. 30-second drop there?
Yeah.
About? Yeah.
Beautiful swim for him. We have Tristan coming in with an 18:02. That's also a drop for him.
Amazing.
And there is that race for that 3rd position. Once again, between lane 5 and lane 8. We see the drama and the excitement coming into the wall, and it's into the touch. Coming in 3rd, it is Bahamas again. It's 18-19, just like Ariana said, it's all about those points.
Yep, absolutely. And we have to remember that Tristan Ferguson out there in lane 4 is 17, so he's competing for the 15-17 category.
Yes.
I'm pretty certain that Lennox that time will be a first place for him, but really exciting swims across the board. So excited to see how those times shake out for this evening.
Yeah, it's going to be William from Bahamas versus Joey in tonight's finals. He's also 14, so we're going to see a very nice competition later today with the 800 earlier and also the 1500 men.
Very excited for that, and we still have a swimmer going, and it's important that everybody continues to stay engaged and they stay in the pool out of a sign of respect. Or you wait until everybody has done their race.
Yes.
And again, our first heat of challengers in the 1500 meter freestyle. It is
Beautiful
the time final event. Our second heat of challengers will be swimming this evening, and it is a mixed age group event, so we'll see what happens. Scoreboard stands.
Well done to Lennox. That was a fantastic swim
Their approval,
from Cayman Islands.
For the next event.
Absolutely.
Number 3, the 11 and 12 ladies, 200 meter breaststroke.
This is Alia's domain, so I'm going to shut up because I know zilch.
200 breaststroke is very similar to the two free. Pace wise, mentally attacking it wise. You don't want to go out too fast because you might crash on the way back, but you also don't want to. You also don't want to go out too slow because you want to hold a good tempo. You want to make sure that first 100 is challenging and competitive, so you can come back really strong.
Absolutely, and the reason I'm a little bit hesitant is the balance that freestyle is. It's a very, I think, easy stroke swim. Breaststroke, if you have a little bit too much up and down motion, that can crush you.
Yeah.
So this 200 breaststroke is sponsored by Grand Bahama Port Authority, bettering the life of Grand Bahama community and by extension the Bahamas through their unique features offered by their island, Grand Bahama. I know several of my friends that I race with are from Grand Bahama and are often spouting about how Grand Bahama is better. So not only do we have a island-wide, Caribbean-wide competition here in the Bahamas, we also are competing against other islands for whose island is better.
Oh man! As far as I've seen, all of them are beautiful.
It's difficult. It is a difficult competition.
I'm sure.
But Nassau's better. I'm just kidding.
Going up for that early lead, it is Kia Alert from Jamaica. She was 8th in this event last year, so she really wants to make her mark, get into finals, and hopefully get that top 3 spot.
If I'm not mistaken, I think the majority of the group from last year's top 8 aged up into the 13, 14. So really having the opportunity for Kia to come up and be the champion this year.
It really is a great opportunity because you know you want to do well, you know you want to beat the people you did last year, but there is a sense of relief that, okay, so-and-so is out and it's my time to shine.
Yep. I remember swimming with Alia even. She's a little bit older than me, so when she got to age out of the category, I was like, yes, now I have a chance.
And it is Kia going out strong. Menace in lane 5 from Barbados is making her move, trying to push into that second position. Menace has the fastest time with a 3:01.34. Like you said before, it is all about strategy. Kia went out strong. Menace held her pace. And now Menace has enough in the tank to catch up Kia as we go into this 150.
Right. Menace did a great job swimming her own race. It seems that she knows that her strength is really on the back end.
Yeah.
So we'll see what happens in this last 50. Wow, what a turn by Menace.
Kia is definitely trying to push her, trying to pick up her tempo. But Menace is looking strong with that glide. It's really hard to defeat somebody who is powerful, has the strength, and has the glide in this event.
Absolutely. It's not so much about what you're doing above the water. It's almost more important what's happening under the water.
Yeah.
Wow, Menace really turned on the gas there in that last 5 meters into the wall and now going into the...
You could definitely see her plan of what she spoke with her coach of just really focusing on her own race in that first 100, taking that third 50 and just racing in for this last. She's going to touch with a 3:08.91.
Wow.
A little bit slower than her seed time, but a really great time for a morning.
And remember, these ladies will be swimming again this evening, doing that race again. So sometimes it is about, just getting a lane tonight. Yeah. It's not about being the fastest. It's not always about breaking that record. It's about just really making sure that you get a lane.
Yes. And it is different than track and field. It's not just automatically if you win the heat, you're going to go to finals. You definitely have to have the top 8 the fastest time between all the heats. So she's not just swimming within these girls, she's swimming with the next heat as well to put on a fast time to make it into finals.
Oh, wow. I didn't even notice lane 8, Scarlett Swirly from Bermuda came up and got that second spot.
We really love that outside smoke.
Love that. Especially in breaststroke, you can't see anybody.
Can't see.
So you
can see who's in front of you.
Yeah.
You can chase them down, but that's about it.
You can't see anywhere else.
I mean, you're not supposed to.
Well,
we've seen some people come up and like,
Heat 2.
That's definitely going to burn you out and fatigue you. So
Yes.
you don't want to be doing that. So all those ladies from that first heat are really going to be standing around, well, hopefully walking towards the warm down pool, but
Yes.
watching this race because you get a little bit of insight into those girls that you'll be racing tonight and seeing their style. Hopefully your coach is watching too, so they can give some notes and let you know. Sometimes it's a little bit of a cheat code to be able to watch your other competitors.
There we have an early speeder. And it's going to be Isabella from Bahamas.
So we'll see if her strategy is out fast and hold on, or what that looks like for her.
Yeah.
And a big sponsor for the ladies, 200 breaststroke.
Nice.
Bahama Port Authority.
Really nice to get under that 40 mark for that 30 for Isabella from Bahamas.
Absolutely. Her entry time is a 3:03, so
Yeah.
she's pacing really well. We'll see what she's at the first 100, and it's still anybody's race. A lot of times, anything can happen. As I was saying, her strategy might be to go out the first 100 very fast and then hold on.
Hold on. I've done that many times.
I've done that too, and it doesn't feel good.
Oh, it does not. She'll be turning with a 1:25.09.
Oh wow!
Really nice.
So if she holds a pretty similar pace, she's probably looking at a 2:50. That's a 10 second drop for her.
Yeah, if she comes back in a 1:30, which she could if she held that same second 50 that she did, she could definitely go under 55.
And at the starting blocks, the gentlemen in 11 and 12 to get 200 meters.
Starting to shorten up. You can see that she's catching a little bit less. And she's picking up her tempo to try and hold the rhythm. But it's all about this last 50 for her.
So she turned at 2:12, so really looking at probably having a great time.
Look at that tempo.
Wow, she looks like she's doing a 50 breaststroke.
If she comes back in a 40, she'll be right on that 3-minute mark.
That is incredible.
And you know, Bahamas has some really great breaststrokers because coming in that second position, Ferguson, in lane 4, it is Bahamas as well.
We love to see that. I believe, I don't have my notes here with me, but I believe the record is held by Michaela Lightstone, potentially. I think the Bahamian breaststroker.
Isabella's tempo has turned down just a little bit, but she has secured her spot, getting under that 3-minute mark. Beautiful swim for her. And it is a 2:58.
Wow. Absolutely amazing.
Sebastian at last in the
For her 5-second drop for Isabel. Coming into that second position, it is Ferguson. A 3:07.99. Both first and second spots of that are first heat.
So you know, Minnis from that previous heat touched at 3:08. So you know she was watching that race and looking at that strategy and knowing her race. It looks like she took it a little bit slower and came back at the end. So making sure she stays in that rhythm. And not being worried about Isabella, who obviously goes out very fast.
Very fast. But you know what's funny? She came back so fast, I think she almost challenged her first 50.
Wow. Put her in the hot seat tonight.
That will be a great race to watch tonight. Very excited for that.
We will know when the official results are posted.
Beautiful.
So we hear the commentator talking about the official results being posted. It's not always official. The officials have to determine if there's a disqualification for any reason. So we will hopefully find out soon if Isabella is in fact our top seed.
Up next, what you're seeing are the men's boys, 11, 12, 200
And yet,
meter breaststroke.
10 competitors.
We are using all 10 lanes here.
Tonight.
So it's very interesting. There's 10 lanes that are in a competition pool. Generally in finals, they only use the 8. The last 2 lanes are used for the wash of the water. It's a little bit difficult to swim in that end lane with the gutters. That's where all of the water is trying to push out of the pool. So.
The lane line do really well in stopping it, but it can only stop so much.
Exactly. So these boys know that while it will basically be everybody in the pool again tonight, they are racing for one of those 8 lanes that is available for finals.
Yeah, Ethan taking out that early race from Trinidad.
And we see Joseph out here in lane 0 really pushing the pace here. He cannot see anybody.
And funny enough, he doesn't have a seat time. So it really is just get in the water and do what you want to do.
Do what you can do. And what's crazy is that we're looking at the middle of the pool and lane numbers 5 and 6. They can't see him at all.
Yep.
Maybe if, depending on which direction they turn in, they might see him, but that's the only glimpse you're going to get.
Right there, Ethan had a chance to see Joseph in lane 0, sorry. But funny enough, Joseph is not doing any underwaters. He is pushing off and straight to surfing.
So it's a fine line, I think. That pull out, you need to have a lot of oxygen in your lungs to be able to make it through that.
Yes.
But you are scientifically faster under the water. So you want to do that.
Always.
You don't want to skip that part.
Especially the further you go underwater, the less force you have to do on top of the water. So you're actually saving your arms and legs. If you just hold your breath for 2 seconds more.
I tell you what though, I've never done a 200 breaststroke, but I'm pretty sure I wouldn't do a pull out either.
There he is, and up before the flags, but he's holding strong for that second position. A great swim for him.
I saw him do a little head tilt. He was looking around.
Ethan from Trinidad is looking very strong in this slide. Joseph is definitely going to be closer to him for the finals tonight, which I think is a huge race for him. To see just the difference the pull-out makes.
Exactly. And yes, you want to win, but again, this is a learning experience for a lot of these boys. So being able to be next to him this evening will be, I think, change the game for him.
51 for Ethan from Trinidad, just a second slower than his seat time, but still a really great time for the morning. We're definitely going to see him go under that 250, hopefully tonight.
Again, he just needed a lane. We're not trying to be superheroes this morning, so really important that he just gets that lane.
And again, we're going to be looking at the top 8 coming into the wall to take lanes for tonight.
So I'm fairly certain lane 3 and who came, or lane 7 that came in 3rd, and then lane 3 that came in 4th. I'm like, wait a second. Yep. Where was lane 0? What?
Yes, I'm pretty sure I was 3rd. Like,
yeah,
what happened? That's also the great thing about swimming a race you don't normally swim. The expectation is very low. You just go on and have fun.
The floor is the floor. So you can't be slower.
You can't. 14 ladies 200-meter breaststroke.
Once again, we only have all of the 10 lanes will be used here, so we have top 8
signal from the referees accepting
to make it in and get a lane.
Scoreboard stands.
Beautiful. We're going to see Ethan having that top spot tonight again.
Ladies, 13 and 14, 200-meter breaststroke.
Women's 200 breaststroke.
So hopefully the 11-12 girls are standing around watching this, because it's still something to be learned from another age group, even though you won't be racing them this year. You could potentially next year. Tamaya Saunders in lane 5. She was 3rd last year in the 11-12 age group, so she's just now aged up into 13-14, so it'll be interesting to watch that.
Really fantastic, because especially when you have 2 years in each age group, you would think the first year is experience and you're going to dominate the next year. So we have a lot of swimmers, including Saunders, that are already dominating their first year in.
Absolutely. It's really cool to see those 13-year-olds in there with the 14-year-olds.
Yes.
It's very easy to make the excuse, oh, well, they're older than me.
Very easy. And I've heard it a lot.
Yep.
These ladies are staying with each other at the 75 mark.
This is a tight race here. They all know that only 2 people from this race will not be getting a lane, so it's important.
This is a great race. 1, 2, 3, 4 maybe swimmers battling to set the pace.
Wow, there.
And it looks like it's going to be lane
Just about even. I can't even tell who's in first. We'll have to look at the clock here when they turn.
And around the corner it is 125, 6, the pace, time to race that pace.
And again, they can't see her.
No.
That's fine.
So she is out there really racing by herself.
And getting ready at the starting blocks now. The gentleman 13, 14 for the 200-meter breaststroke.
It's interesting again here, kind of like I was saying in the 1500. There's very different strokes across the pool.
Definitely. We're going to see lane 6, Madison, take more of a higher approach, trying to get higher in the water to launch herself forward, but she's also missing a lot of that pole.
Yep.
Like you see in lane 2, she's grabbing that pole and helping her to really push that glide. 50 left to go.
Definitely. So lane 2 is, it can potentially be a less energy expenditure because she is staying lower in the water.
Yes.
But you're not getting maybe not enough as force in your lunge forward if you stay lower.
And you can see between Madison and from Bahamas in lane 6 and Faith from St. Lucia, Faith is staying a little bit lower in that water and she's now pushing ahead of Madison. I don't know if she'll have enough in her tank because we also have lane 9, that outside stroke again.
Wow.
It is between lane 2 and 9 for that top spot.
What an amazing race. Look at lane 2. So again, we have outside smoke. Oh, and she is celebrating.
2:59.
Wow.
3-minute mark.
Wow. That's beautiful. She was entered in with a 3:04, so a 5-second.
Really great swim. And I'm sure that was her strategy going out. Like, I'm in lane 2, I'm going to go out, and they're going to have to catch me.
Absolutely amazing race, really across the board. It was a tight race from first all the way through ninth, so those ladies should be very proud of themselves.
Another great race for tonight as we move on to the boys 13 and 14 200-meter breaststroke.
So we talked about Lennox out there in the 1500. He is in this race now. So what was that? 10, 15 minutes?
About. She should be warmed up now after 1500.
Warmed up.
That's the word I'm going to use.
That is insane. I mean, that takes guts to get up there on a box and to know that the rest of the guys that you're racing are dry and haven't touched the water yet.
Yes.
Oh, and my fault. William Farrington was also in that 1500. So we've got a couple of boys we're seeing doing this race as well.
Yeah, it is. And maybe there's a relationship there between that 1500 and the breaststrokes. I think I missed it in my career.
What is it?
But I'm not sure.
Okay.
But these boys are going to show me.
I'm also don't know.
Barrington is looking good after just swimming that 1500 in lane 6.
We've got another tight group of breaststrokers here in the 200. I mean,
Yeah.
really across the board, it's anybody's race.
Joey in lane 7 is going to hold on for that nice long stroke. He is looking a little bit at Kai. He did
Don't do
not
that.
care to swim your own lane. Swim in your own lane.
I'll have to have a word with him.
And that 100-meter halfway point.
And he faded just a little bit, and it is Kai moving on. 1:17.51.
Redwood High of Jamaica. At what position is he going to keep it though?
We talked about circle swimming a little bit in the 1500.
Yes.
You also have to think about in breaststroke races and butterfly races where you're doing a two-hand touch, you want to get in and out of that wall as fast as possible. A lot of times it's seen as like the rest period. It is not.
And when your body is tired,
You want to hold on to the wall.
take a long breath.
Take a breath. So it's important that you are touching the wall and you're barely touching it and back off the wall.
I always tell the young kids it's like a hot potato, that game.
Yep.
Just tap it and go.
Yep.
And it is 1, 2, 3. Oh, 4 swimmers trying to hold on for that top spot. We have Alejandro, Kai, David, and Joey.
Absolutely phenomenal race here.
David from Bahamas is definitely trying to make his mark. But Alejandro from Trinidad is really trying to surge at the end of this race, but Kai is not allowing him.
Wow, what a race.
Down to the touch, and it is. Lane 3,
Wow.
David from Bahamas. 2:41.31.
So that's about a 3-second drop from his entry time there. And
Really great swim for these gentlemen.
that's going to be a great race this evening with those boys having a chance to do it all over again this evening and learn from potential things that they might not have done well in that race.
It's always a great opportunity. Sometimes you finish it and you're like, I don't want to do this again. But when you sit back and relax and reflect on the race, it's such an excitement and a rush to do it again and do it better than you did in the prelims.
Absolutely. And we're replaying this finish right here. It's just absolute insanity today. It came down to just a touch.
In a 200.
In a 200.
Well, we started in the 800 too.
Yeah. That's why you never give up. You never know.
You have to swim into the wall. Let the wall stop you.
Oftentimes it did.
And I'm not holding on for dear life.
Yeah. There have definitely been times I have wanted to just push my body over the lane line and be done.
This is the women's 15 and 17 200-meter breaststroke.
Once again, we're seeing, 9 women in here that are looking for a lane tonight. So they know going into this race, only 2 people will miss out on getting a lane this evening.
Yes. We have Gibbs from Bahamas. She just came back from Big 12s where she got that consolation final. She was second in that consolation final. A really great swim for that 100 breaststroke. So we're going to see her change it up to long course now, taking that early lead.
Yeah, and for people that don't know, in conference and in the U.S., they swim in yards. It's a very short pool. So being able to take a swim from a couple weeks ago in a yard pool into that conversion from yards to long course was my least favorite time of the year.
Horrible. Like, so for 100 breaststroke, you would probably do 6 to 8, depending on how tall you are, per lap. Right? So you have about 16 for the 50. Whereas for 100, you're looking at close to 25 to 26 for that first 50. So it's at least 15 to 20 more strokes.
And we're talking about, she did 100-yard breaststroke. Yeah. So she's taking 100-yard breaststroke and now swimming a 200-meter long course leader.
Ridiculous.
These 200 breaststrokes have definitely been very well even races.
Yeah.
Which makes it very exciting for those prelims. I know sometimes it can feel a little mundane because you're going to see the exact same people this evening, but it's really exciting what they're doing, and they're pushing and they're giving a good show.
Bahamas at block number 6, Kenny Wells taking ownership. Again,
Sullivan in lane 5. She is a top seed from Cayman. I'm not sure if she expected these ladies to go out this fast, but it's a catch-up game for her with 50 left to go. Gibbs is holding on strong with a beautiful long stroke.
So we saw just now in that turn, Gibbs timed her turn a little bit poorly and it was really slow going into the wall. So that's another thing you have to take into account.
Yes.
Timing that turn so you're not taking a half stroke, you're not gliding and hoping for momentum to take you into the wall. Because a race can be lost in that.
Just by that. And it is Ellie Shaw holding strong. Coming into the wall, she's going to stop first in lane 4. It's a 2:45.46. Really good swim for her for this morning session.
Swim. And she's only 15, so this will be her first year in this age group.
Yes.
bidding for 8 lanes tonight.
Beautiful. She's definitely setting a mark and showing
And Ellie
these 15
Shaw
and
going to be in the hot
17-year-olds
seat.
what she has to bring to this table, right? Wow.
Absolutely love that. Not the mentality of, well, these girls are older than me and they've been here longer.
No.
It can be very easy to see that Rashika had been swimming in college
Yes.
and let that scare you a little bit.
Yes.
So,
And she's like, nope, this is my first year. I'm going to show them what I have.
absolutely.
Beautiful swim for Ellie Shaw.
I love this. We have 2 heats of the men's 15-17 200 breaststroke. Love that. That means these men have committed
And
to
the
continuing being in
referees give the
a
race
distance,
a
quote
thumbs
unquote,
up. Scoreboard stands. Gentlemen, 15-17 200-meter breaststroke. Heat 1.
Beautiful. Next up, the men's 15-17 200-meter breaststroke.
So these men have to race each other, but they're also racing for the
And
next
the
heat.
first
They don't know what that
of
next
two
heat's going to go.
heats, 14
So
athletes competing
you don't want to
for
give it
8
too much gas,
goals
but
tonight.
you need to make sure that you're getting a lane again to swim tonight. And it looks like Emmanuel Gibson out in lane 2 is actually 18. So we do have some 18 and overs that are competing in this event. And so he's really competing against himself here. So we might see him take a little bit of a lead early, as his entry time is about 10 seconds faster than the rest of the group. So look out for Dirks of Aruba in lane 5 to also kind of pull into that space.
He was second last year, so he's definitely trying to get that gold this year. But for this prelim session, it's definitely just making it into finals.
Looking for redemption.
At this CARIFTA, we are going to have an 18 and over category for some events, trying for athletes to get more competition in the Caribbean and in the Olympic year. So we're definitely going to try and get there in the next spots. Probably why we see Gadsden in lane 2. We don't have that many entries for 200 breaststroke for 18 and over, so they probably put him here with the 15 and 17.
Getting a chance to get it up.
Getting ready to go, watching what's going on.
What's really important in racing for a world championship cut or an Olympic cut is you have to do it at a FINA ratified swim meet. So not any club meet will do.
Yes.
So it's great that we're giving 18 and overs a chance to be in a race here.
We do have an injury in lane 7, Hepburn from Bahamas. It looks like his calf or hamstring cramped up on him.
At block number 7, it's Trinidad and Tobago.
We're going to see him out in this event.
And at block number 8, Antigua Barbuda, Manad Sendai.
Medical assistance is required for him in lane 7. But holding on strong, it is Gatson. But he is 18 and over, so besides him in the race, we do have Wells and Dirks trying to get that top spot.
In point position, not a question of who
Absolutely
will
great race again across the pool.
Hepburn needs to move across the other lane if he's going to. He can't impede the other swimmer in lane 8.
2:23.72, Emmanuel Jackson setting the challenge for heat number 2.
Absolute great swim by Emmanuel Gadsden. He was a little bit slower than his entry time, so I'm curious if they're going to give him a lane tonight because he is 18. So not sure how that's going to work out. So we'll see.
Yeah, there's an X. I don't know if it's exhibition for prelims or he gets to some finals again. I'm not sure. It's a good question. If we're going to see him again. But we did have our swimmer come out of the pool in lane 7, Hepburn from Bahamas. He is getting medical treatment. It looks like his hamstrings or his quads have tightened up. It can happen, especially in the breaststroke, when you're really trying to emphasize your kick for the glide.
Gentlemen, 15 to 17.
It's also really important to take a moment and remind everybody you need to make sure you're staying hydrated. Lack of hydration will, in this sun, in the heat.
You feel like you're in water all the time, so you don't need it, but it's 100% necessary for swimmers, especially out in the sun. The next heat is in the water.
And this is it, the deciding heat of the 15 to 17 gentlemen's 200 breaststroke.
So these boys had the opportunity to take a look at the first heat and see what they were doing and kind of
And
Hopefully they
next
still are
heat,
going to swim their race, but
is
they know what
scheduled
time
be
they
the
need to be at.
50-meter
Yeah.
backstroke. Beginning that series, the 11 and 12 ladies.
Going out first, it is Barbados with a 33.91 for Joshua Ross.
What's really interesting here in this race, you can see the two Caymanians right next to each other. I would assume they train together. I'm not sure how the club system works there, but they both have similar strokes in their breaststroke.
Yes. Really working on that glide. Working those legs.
It looks like Jordan has a little bit slower, smoother of a tempo, but you know, different strokes for different folks.
And interesting, almost synchronized swimming there. 1:11.78, 1:12.15 at the turn. Joshua Ross, Jordan
One of them is
Lyle.
a really good split for them.
And that's the halfway point. The race
They come back
is
in that
not over
1:15.
yet, not even
We're definitely going to
close.
see around the 2:26 that will put them unofficially in that top spot. It is Jordan in that top spot trying to outswim Joshua right beside him in lane 4 from Barbados. 50 left to go. Beautiful underwaters.
Wow, what a great underwater by both of them, really.
Yeah.
And we still see that Dominic Hilton is still in the race here. He is turning up his tempo a little bit.
Definitely fighting to get back to where those two boys are.
And Joshua Ross.
He needs to keep in mind, though, he's getting a chance to do it again tonight.
Taking position at the
So everybody's race is going to be down to the touch. We have Joshua versus Jordan.
Wow, what a second 50. Here we go.
Coming in, and it is Barbados. 2:28.01. Joshua Ross.
to lead the heat.
Really good swim for these boys.
And it looks like Tristan Hepburn out of heat number 1, 2:23.72, may have earned the hot seat. We'll know when the official results are posted.
That'll be an interesting race tonight because Ross definitely came back in that second 100.
Yes, he did.
His final 50 almost was the real change. So it'll be interesting to watch that again tonight and see if he takes a similar strategy and approach.
Boys, clear the water, please.
One more swimmer left to finish this heat, and then we're going to see the official.
And there's the disqualification report. Event number 8, heat 1, lane 7, disqualification
So
report.
unfortunately, Tristan was not able to finish the race, so he does end up getting disqualified, which makes sense. No time anyway.
We're going to move our referee and starters now to the turn into the course, getting ready for the 11 and
So
12
we're going to have
ladies.
a little bit of a break here
50-meter
with
backstroke, the 9,
transition. Our 50s
For Turks and Caicos,
of strokes and freestyle start from the other side of the pool.
At block number 2.
We're also going to see a big transition in that we went from having very few people in the 200 to multiple heats.
Yes.
Yes.
At block number 5 is our
Caribbean loves or sprints.
Skylar Smith at block number 6 for Bahamas.
I wish that I could say differently, but yeah. As a former sprint freestyler myself,
Cruz at block number 8 for
What I am happy about is that we're spreading ourselves throughout the different strokes. It's not just freestyle.
absolutely. And to have the 50s of strokes available, they are available now in the international scene. So
Yes.
it is a chance to represent your country.
Most notably will be Dylan Carter. He will be here for later on in this competition, and he has won worlds in the 50 backstroke, 50 butterfly, and 50 freestyle.
Yep. It's amazing. It's sometimes people are like, oh, I'm a freestyler, but if you can do a sprint, you could crush a lot of competitions like that.
And this 50 backstroke is all about that tempo. Trying to maintain your tempo for the entire 50.
There are 3 heats of this race, so only 8 women will make it back to the final. So it's really important to do your best here, and it's tough in a 50. You really have to go all out.
Oh, beautiful touch for lane 5 from Barbados. Nope. From Trinidad, the 32. Oh.
Excellent swim by her there with 32.
262 in lane number 5.
There it is, Zara, 32.62.
So that was about a second faster than her entry time.
Yes.
Dropping a second in a 50 is not easy.
No, it's not. No, it's not. The good thing about this as well, if you're looking at the heat sheet, it is the fastest seeded. So Zara is the third fastest overall. And so they put the third fastest in the first heat, the second fastest in the second, and then the top in the last heat. Really pushing the rest of the competition to do their best as well.
They don't stack it with the just fastest people in the final heat. It's across the board, so everybody gets a chance. It's also interesting that with these new blocks, they have the backstroke wedge. And we'll see some people using it and some people not using it. If you've never used it before, a competition is generally not the best time for that.
There are very few Caribbean countries that have the backstroke wedges. So if you don't train it, like Ariana said, it's probably not best to use it on the competition day for your race.
It is helpful in that it gives you a little bit more grip on your feet than the touchpad, but at this point, it's not going to make that big of a difference in their straight. So 33.41 was the fastest just now with Aaliyah Greaves.
And you hear the spectators from Barbados really excited over that swim.
Absolutely, and again, she was the top seed in that heat, so they're kind of shaking out the way that we thought. But right now, Zara from heat 1 is still the fastest.
Ladies, 11 and 12, 50-meter backstroke. Heat 3, the deciding heat.
Oh, she messed up her touch just a little bit. But hopefully tonight she'll be able to land that touch on the wall.
Hopefully her coach spotted that and can talk to her through that.
It's a little bit windy out here in Nassau, Bahamas. The flags are moving just a little bit, but the athletes should know their shortcuts into the wall to get that touch.
We've seen some good underwaters just now in this final heat.
Oh, and they're 11-12.
I love that. Again, it's faster to be underwater than on top of the water, especially with this wind. They're swimming into the wind, so it's a little bit tough.
You're definitely going to see it when you watch the older gentlemen and the ladies, how far they go underwater and how dominant they are. And it is a race. This last, cheers. It is Ferguson, the 33.48. Coming for that second position, it is Seymour, also from the Bahamas, the 33.59.
It looks like the lane 6, Kia Lawson, she had a little bit of a longer finish there, and that can really affect you.
We're going to see again on the recap.
Oh, I'm sorry, lane 5. It's a little bit longer. So, yes.
Once again, this is why the prelims are here. You figure out the different things you need to do to make it a little bit better, and then you come back again this afternoon.
Absolutely.
Part of your best race. I think that's why it's important as well for the events that only have one heat, not to do straight finals, but to do something in the morning.
And again, it's prepping you for international competition.
Yes.
We're never going to have at an international stage one heat. So. And while we have the 50 backstroke going off, the sponsor for the 50 backstroke is Albany, Bahamas. The luxury resort community in Albany is set on 600 oceanfront acres on New Providence Island in the Bahamas. Albany celebrates the best of island living and features an unparalleled combination of surrounding architecture, sporting amenities and service, making it one of the most desirable resort communities in the world.
Ooh, that's fun.
Albany, I'd love to come visit.
Coming in, it's going to be a tight race. But it is Bahamas, so 33-17. Really great swim, and actually lane 6, Jamie he was actually disqualified last year, so it's really great that he put in a really great time. Hopefully he can make the finals this afternoon.
A disqualification in the moment is so hard, but hopefully you learn from it and it never happens again.
Yes.
Especially at this scale where you know every point matters.
You really need to be optimistic and talk to your coaches and your parents and your teachers.
Gentlemen,
Absolutely.
50-meter backstroke, heat 2.
So again, with these 3 heats, we're really not only just looking at the top finisher, but really it's anybody's chance to get in, because we do it by time. It's not what place you come in the race.
And with it, heat number 3 taking ownership of the stone block. It's going to be Israel first at block number 2.
Beautiful start for Barbados. Sommers in lane 5. We're going to see Sean in lane 6 picking up his tempo, definitely trying to catch him, but we have Wright in lane 8 trying to get that outside stroke again. Beautiful touch.
Great finish there.
32-3 for Sommers.
Excellent swim there by him. Dropped some time as well from his entry time, so
Yes. Sommers actually did not make finals last year in this event.
well, he said, I am coming this year.
They're going to know me.
I would venture a guess that Sobers is the younger brother of Alex Sobers.
I believe so. However, we do have 2 Atkinsons in Jamaica.
Fair. And everybody thought y'all were related, so.
Yes. But I feel like that's a good guess.
You should just have a really different last name, like Vanderpool.
And 32-23, the time to be at least to get the high.
Oh, wow. Lane number 5 there had a great underwater.
Shepherd in lane 7 is trying to go with him, having a very smooth backstroke.
Yes, no bouncing. So you see the difference in strokes there between lane 5 and lane 7.
It's going to be coming in down to the touch. Ooh.
Wow.
Simmons going to hold on to that lead. Coming in and out touching by 0.03.
What a great race across the board there. It will be really exciting to see.
On the board, we're going to see Rory Shepherd coming in. Messing up the touch just a
touch.
bit. Oh, there it is. Oh. We're going to see a race tonight for sure.
That'll be great because we'll have across the board everybody in one race, so we'll be able to see. So hopefully here we see a little bit longer underwaters than we saw in the 11-12 ladies.
Mm-hmm.
This is the time where you should be really pushing that underwater part of your career and learning how to stay under until the 15.
Really.
You know, I love to see some of the girls choosing to not use that backstroke wedge, not being intimidated by other people.
Yes.
Lane 3 is really taken out hard. And again, in backstroke, you're not seeing anybody around you. Well, you shouldn't be.
It should be. Skylar from Jamaica is definitely trying to make her mark in heat 1. She's slowing down just a little bit. Can they catch her? And it is Skylar.
She actually timed her touch really well there.
Yes, she did. First one under 32.
Taking ownership.
A 3-second drop almost there. What an amazing swim.
I mean, we saw it from the start at the Waters, and that first 35 fast.
Yep.
If she can work on that last 12 and a half, we're going to see hopefully a 30 this afternoon. That would be a really great swim for 13-14.
Absolutely. And she will right now be probably in one of the middle lanes, depending on how these next few heats go.
Yeah.
Our top seed in this event is a 31.79, so we'll see.
If you see the athlete struggling on that block, it is not an easy feat to hold yourself up and pull that down with one hand.
Right. It is. I tried once. Sometimes it might seem like the more weight you're making, the faster you might go, but that's not always the case when you watch a lot of the older swimmers.
Yes.
You can see in lane number 6 right now, she's very smooth. Wow, what a finish by lane number 4.
It is going to be number 6. Delphine Veselis.
Delphine was actually 3rd in this event last year, so she's definitely coming back to get that top spot, as we've seen in that heat.
Absolute excellent swim by her. Really, you can see, look at her smooth strokes there.
Yes.
The second fastest.
Very important to just stay smooth. Great finish there.
Yeah.
Timed very well.
The challenge.
Skylar Richards from heat 1 still has the top spot with 1 heat left to go.
I just said Vanderpool is a unique name, and now we have a Vanterpool. How dare you?
Vanter.
How rude.
Interesting.
That's interesting to me. I know where Vanderpool came from. I've not seen a Vanter before.
That's the first.
So I'm sure Skylar is standing by watching this last heat here. Our top seed, Caitlin from Barbados, is a 31.79, so we'll see what she goes.
Yes. Keep your eyes in lane 6, Jessica. She won this event as an 11-12-year-old last year. This is her first year in 13-14. She's going to want to try and make her mark. Going after that early lead, it is Jessica in lane 6, what we call a very first lead. By lane 5, Caitlin from Barbados.
Wow, they are neck and neck. Very different backstrokes again.
Very different.
That was not a great finish by Caitlin there, but you know, it is windy, as you were saying earlier, that really throws off the slides, and so hopefully this evening she'll be able to time that a little bit better.
According to my notes are not official, by the way, but I recorded the 31.94, the low bid. Skylar Richards of Jamaica at heat number 1.
Absolutely excellent swim by Caitlin, or by Skylar, I'm sorry, from heat 1, lane 3.
Yeah.
Being the top seed potentially going in tonight.
And right now,
for Caitlin, that would have been a 31 minute if she didn't mess up that.
So again, hopefully her coach is able to kind of guide her through that. And she, in warm-ups tonight, she is doing a finish at least 3 times, making sure she's got that timing down. So now we're moving on to 13 and 14. 3 heats once again.
And with that, heat number 2, doing the mark to take ownership of the starting block.
Definitely seeing a little bit longer of underwaters.
Victor Ashby at block 3. Levin Hamilton at block number 4. Alejandro Adard at block 5. Jonathan Zambrano.
Really great tempo from these guys. We're going to see lane 7 pick up his tempo and try to hold off the rest of the pack.
Lane 5 is just really taking away. Oh, very long finish.
That is going to be a
Nice.
Connor Huffman of Bermuda.
Connor to take that top spot, followed very closely by Heyman Luke in that second position.
Great swim by Connor there. It's about half a second faster than his entry time. So we'll see how these next two heats go. And maybe we'll have a top seed from the first heat for both 13-14 women and 13-14 men.
Heat 2.
Right now, our fastest entry time is coming out of heat 3 with a 28.79. So we'll see absolutely if he can be the top seed at 28 or what will happen.
If you look in the water, in between that yellow marker, there is 2 red dots, 2 red markers. That is a 50-meter marker. So that's really where you want to push your underwaters, right to that mark.
You will see in international competitions, they are going right up into that meter. They are training to hit right at that point. If you go a little bit beyond, that's a disqualification.
For a card swimming for Trinidad.
Getting that nice touch to the 29.69 first one under that 30 mark. Really great swim.
And it looks like he has the second fastest time posted in this event.
Really exciting. Again, we're looking at heat 1. Connor Huffman at 29.04 is still the top seed right now. So we will see how this last heat goes. But again, Ocean here in lane 5 coming up, 14-year-old out of Aruba, is at 28.79. So he's seen those last 2 heats. He knows what he has to do here if he wants that middle lane 4 this evening.
What's really great is lane 4 and lane 6. Zion and Francis, they're both 13. So this is their first year, and they're really competitive in this last heat.
Absolutely exciting to see 13-year-old, even if just for the experience, but almost better if they win. You get bragging points because you get to return next year.
Big bragging points.
Being able to return in your age group as the reigning champion is really cool.
Yeah. It's a hesitation. We're going to quietly start just a bit before we try again.
Really important that they have all quiet during the start.
When this heat hits the wall, the scoring computer's going to decide what tonight's finals look like. Taking ownership of the starting blocks right now, it's 15-17 ladies for the 50-meter backstroke. And at the halfway point, lane number 5.
So lane number 5, as we thought, Ocean Van Loon is amazing backstroke there. Amazing finish, 28.69. So he went faster than his entry time. So
with that time, he's going to be center lane tonight.
We're going to have a great race tonight between Ocean and Connor Huffman at 29.04. Connor might be pushed to go under 29, or under 29 this evening.
It's definitely going to take at least a 29 to get top 3, to get the medal tonight.
For sure. So any of those boys that were a little bit on the cusp there of 29, high 29, low 30, will want to make sure that they're thinking about all of the aspects of the race. You want a good start, good underwater, great finish.
Yeah.
That's what I love and hate about 50s. You can't mess up a single thing. You're talking about tenths of a second changes.
Yeah.
Ladies,
The 53, I used to be excited when I dropped 100th of a second.
Yes. In the ballpark, and I'd be all right.
Yeah. Seriously. A best time is almost unheard of.
As you get older, yes. So enjoy these prelims, best times.
dropping a second in your time.
Oh,
Those were the days.
someone who I'm really excited to see is Broad Belt in lane 5 from Cayman. She was absolutely dominant last year in that 13-14 category.
So she definitely has a taste of success, so we'll be able to come through and really show up here in the 15-17 age group. I think the 15-17 age group is amazing because that's really when you start to get into your own and you learn a lot about your stroke. So I feel like you generally see a tighter competition between the age groups.
You do. Certain events for sure.
And boom, the first challenge, 31-03.
Wow.
By Sierra Broadbelt of the Caymans.
And her first year in this age group, that's
First year.
phenomenal.
Yes.
She said, I'm not afraid of you old girls.
I'll show you what I'm working with. I always found 15-7 to be difficult because yes, I got more dominant in my stroke, but my body changed so much.
That's
it was
true.
Really hard. Like 13-14, I was fantastic. I was on fire. But now I started comparing myself to like 13-14 here.
Yeah.
And I wasn't as fast.
Very true. It'll be amazing if Sierra can come in and be one of the top seeds for the final this evening.
Yes.
We'll see as lane 5 and lane 6 are entered with 30 points, but a 50 backstroke again is, if you don't get everything right, you're not getting a best time.
And another great start. We like lane 5 this morning for some reason. 10 points.
I mean, you see it in track and field a lot with the wind, but for swimming, it's not that big of a difference, but you still feel that pressure if you're going against the wind.
Absolutely. Lane 5.
Oh, again with the touch.
9-2. Now the low bid, Leanna Wainwright.
But it is Wainwright.
In the
Nice
hot seat.
swim.
No longer a swimmer, she is.
So
the
something that
target for
I
our
also
next
hadn't
heat.
taken into account, you have the wind that's affecting the flags, but also the sun is directly in their eyes with backstroke. So
Yeah.
sometimes it's very tough to see the flags. Generally, swimmers will be wearing tinted
Ladies,
goggles of some
15 to
sort, but
17,
still makes it very difficult.
Yes.
3.
So Wainwright right now the fastest time going into this final heat.
I really do hope that these ladies go into that warm down pool and practice their touches.
Absolutely. And this evening as well, I would always, sometimes the lanes are assigned by which country, but I would always try and find some time to get into the lane that I will be racing in.
Yeah.
You think that every lane is the same, but
Just
it makes me feel better.
especially backstroke, you're seeing different
Absolutely.
things. If you're in the middle of the lane before and now you're in 8 and now you're seeing all your teammates cheering for you,
Very different.
it can be off-putting. Beautiful underwaters.
Missouri in lane 5 came in with a 29.99. She just got under that 30-second mark.
Heat number 1 taking ownership of the starting blocks. And in
Really
lane number
impressive.
5,
Lane
past
4,
that 15-minute mark,
the
into the
active
5-minute
into
mark.
water.
Wow.
And it's Jerry Ferguson of Trinidad and Tobago.
Ooh, 29.74.
Excellent.
Beautiful swim
And
for
that
her.
is the overall world
So
bid
she
for
is
that center
the only
lane
one
tonight.
under
In the
30
hot
seconds
seat,
going
according
into
to my
tonight.
notes, Trinidad and Tobago.
And I tell you
Zuri
what, that is a
Ferguson.
powerful position to be in when you know you're in
And we'll
that-
have official
that second
results
bracket.
shortly.
Yeah. Yeah.
Getting ready now.
That gives
the
you even a
gentlemen
little bit more
15-17.
confidence going into
Ethan
finals
Gardner at
tonight.
block number 4.
Might not seem like much, but it
Damian
is.
Barton at block 5. Nigel Fontanella at block
What's
number
really
6.
interesting is that we know as the Caribbean we're not the same as the rest of the countries. So there's different advantages and disadvantages going into the international scene. But it's also here because there are lots of countries that either one don't have a 50-meter pool, swims in oceans, and I think Bonaire just got their first open water pool.
Wow.
It's a structure in the water and they have lane lines.
Where did?
Bonaire.
Oh, wow.
So it's really impressive to see the representation across the Caribbean, but also know that each one of them has their own advantages and disadvantages.
Absolutely, I know. Sorry, just being quiet for the start there, but I know
And with that start, heat number 2,
when you don't have a long course pool to train
ownership
in,
at the starting
it is
blocks.
very difficult to come in and race. There's only so much preparation you can do.
Yeah.
And this could be
Changing from being
interesting.
able to turn every 25 meters is very different to having to go an entire 50 meter.
And it goes back to the stroke counts. If you're used to doing 20 strokes for your race and now you're doing 32, around that 25, your body starts to shut down.
What is amazing is
setting the challenge.
what a great swim.
30.98.
Nice.
He was entered with a 32, so
30.98 for Savvy and Barton.
that's an amazing swim. What's really cool about the Caribbean is we have the ultimate open water source. I don't think I would do open water anywhere else if I was going to do it.
Block 0, Carrick Charles at block number 1. Darren Maynard at 2. Block 3 is Brandon Atkins. Malcolm McKenzie at 4.
And if you're looking now, these are the 15 and 17 boys. You can see their bodies have definitely changed from the 13-14 category. They're really going to try and hold that tempo, try and sustain it for the whole 50, and watch these underwaters.
Definitely a big growth you see between 13 and 14 boys and now 15 and 17.
And we have a disqualification report.
Oh, no.
Event number 14, Heat 1, Lane 7.
Okay.
Unfortunately, lane 7 in the previous heat just got disqualified.
Gentlemen, Heat 2.
So it looks like the middle group here in this 50 backstroke, they're all 17-year-olds. So really at the top of this range for the 50 back, wanting to be the champion before they age out of CARIFTA games.
Yeah. It'll be interesting to see if the next CARIFTA games will continue to have an 18 category, or if it's just for 11
And
years.
with that, seat number 3, making their way behind the starting blocks.
I like that. I like the idea of it because a lot of times you see people just stop swimming that could be great swimmers, but there's not an opportunity to race for them. So
There is a gap. You go to CISC, and then if you don't make it international, Pan Ams or Commonwealth,
it's tough to
Where are you
keep
gonna go?
going.
yeah.
Ooh,
good touch.
It is Tristan Dorville, 27.
Lane 8.
Wow.
From St. Lucia, 27.86.
2, and the challenge overall.
That is a
He's in the
fantastic
hot
touch.
seat. No longer a swimmer. He is the
Wow.
target.
He was entered with a 30.87. So now I have to ask myself, has he not done the event for a while? That's a
what I'm
3-second drop.
That's what I'm assuming. Given when I was 13, I think 13, 14, when my birth suddenly clicked, like I understood it, and I was able to actually be competitive in it.
That's fair. And you also see a pretty big growth in terms of musculature in men around this age.
Yes,
So backstroke especially, it takes a lot of muscle to be good.
Boys, relax, please.
So the boys were just told to relax in the pool, so it sounds like there's a little bit of a delay going on, potentially a technical difficulty.
it's always great to have them relax. It's not like on top of the blocks where they can just stand up. You still have to hold yourself up. Luckily, this one has a little foot position,
relax. You have a technical,
so they don't have to put all the strain on the
And we
arms.
have a brief pause for a moment. Introducing our swimmers at the starting blocks. That's Neil Sherwin, Norma at block number 0, Tate Hilton at block
So
number
there is a
1.
technical difficulty going on right now at the pool, whatever that is. So
At block number 3, Darren
the swimmers want to make sure that they are kind of staying moving. You don't want to let your muscles get tight as you are sitting in the water. Pool water is generally a little bit chilly.
George at block number 8, and Elton Leonard at block number 9. In the water, and again at pause for an administrative challenge.
So not sure what the delay is there.
No, they definitely want to not fatigue their arms. They need to let go of that block. Really just do a little bit of sculling, hold on to the lane line. Anything else besides holding up.
27.86.
Yeah, it's difficult because your body wants to keep your arms out of the water because for whatever reason that helps you feel warmer. You see lane 5 is completely off of the wall, so he was resting his muscles there, and
The biggest thing was my forearms. They always got tight during warm-ups.
Yeah.
Especially those bigger competitions where the pads are huge and you have to like grip really hard.
I used to hate that. Nowhere to hold on, and you're like
Nowhere to hold on.
feel like you're on a cliff. So we'll see here lane 5's version of making sure he stayed off the wall will help him out here.
Really great start by Sellers in lane 6. He's going to try and hold off Lewison in lane 5.
In point position.
Absolutely tight race here. No, you can't even tell really who's going to end up taking it. It's going to come down to a great finish.
Nice.
A great time.
28.04 for Will Sellers from Cayman. Followed very closely by Jamaica, Brady Lewison.
So Charles out of the second heat. He went 27.8 is still top
And again, this is just for the center lane tonight. When we come back tonight, 8 swimmers are going to be competing
for that touch.
for that top position.
You can definitely see the difference in the touches for these gentlemen versus the 11, 12, and 13, 14. It's a teaching tool.
It is, absolutely.
The deciding heat.
Especially for the young ones that get excited and they just want to go at 11, 12. Really great for them to know what they're doing so their body just takes over so they don't have to think about it.
It's an amazing opportunity for the 11, 12s to be able to watch older swimmers.
Yes.
Real life and in person.
This is the last heat on the men's.
And decisions. When
beautiful underwater.
The scoring computer's going to decide.
Wow, what an amazing underwater by lane number 4 there. Really gave him a little bit of a ahead of everybody.
Yeah, definitely put that 15 mark to the max, and you can see the difference, but it will be tempo-wise. It is Trinidad.
Wow.
Very nice win for Liam.
Wow.
He won this event last year in 13-14, and he's coming back again in that 15-17 to show them that I am here.
I mean, what an amazing swim by him just now. He's really going to go into this evening with some confidence. He's, again, a second faster than the rest of the field. So, great race by Liam Harrington. And now we have, again, what we were talking about, the 18 and over women here doing a 50 backstroke. It's really great to see a lot of these swimmers still swimming. I actually had the opportunity to train with Madeline Moore out of Bermuda for a little bit. Amazing girl. She was a workhorse.
I remember her from 2017. Her last CARIFTA was phenomenal.
I loved that there's enough 18-year-olds and over that there are 2 heats of this.
Yeah. Unlike the 200 breaststroke, it's just that one.
Yeah.
That's it.
I'm sure once we get to 150 free, we'll probably see a few more.
I'm sure. Good race. For Mikai from St. Lucia, who's been to numerous worlds. She's trying to reach her second Olympics coming up, and she's actually pursuing her master's at Yale.
Oh my word!
It's fantastic to see somebody doing it all.
To be able to balance school and training.
Yes.
I'll have to talk to her about that because that is tough.
Very
tough.
Stopping the clock, setting the challenge, 29.94.
And it is Bermuda.
Logan Watson-Brown of Bermuda.
Only one in that heat under that 30-second mark.
And
going into this evening, we'll need to take a look and see what the trial or the Olympic cut is so that we can have an idea of what these girls are trying to go for, and potentially could be shooting for world champs or any other number of international events.
Ladies, 18 and over, 50-meter backstroke, heat 2.
Madeline Moore, if you've watched a couple of these CARIFTAs in the past, you'll definitely remember that name.
Great swimmer and great person. And again, you see that great underwater from these ladies.
The time to
So
beat.
beautiful.
Out to do that number one, Bermuda. Right off the start, kicking and swinging. 15-meter mark. And it's one of those races, not a question of who it is
Her
when.
teammate Logan won. He won. We're going to see Madeline coming in at 2 as well.
29.68.
Great swim by her, just a little bit off of her entry time, but again, prelims.
And with that, we have
She was pretty confident that she was going to get a lane, so
The only time under 13 has been the Bermuda
block number 4 for
teammates.
Trinidad and
Logan and
Tobago.
Madeline.
Lamar Taylor at block number 5
Really
for
nice
the
for
Bahamas. Trinidad and Tobago.
now we have
block number 6,
just
Christian
4
Shaw.
18 and over men swimming this 50 backstroke.
Grenada.
Lamar Taylor also just coming off of an amazing NCAAs and conference.
And we're going to
I believe this was his final year. Oh, never mind. We are not doing that 50 backstroke because there's only 4 of them. They're going to do it in finals this evening.
Are the 11 and 12 ladies for the 100-meter butterfly. Jayla Stutt at block number 3.
So we're going to go straight to that 100 butterfly. So you'll see everybody repositioning at the other end of the pool to start 2 laps of butterfly.
And it is different because we spoke about having that prelim swim and getting that feeling out before you come into finals. But a lot of these guys, 18 and over, have done this numerous times before. It's probably easier for them just to do a great warm-up, rest, and if they have another event, maybe they'll focus on that, but to really just bring it back tonight.
Absolutely. So we talked a lot about strokes so far, and now we're switching to a different stroke again. We're going to see all 4 strokes this morning, which is amazing.
Yeah.
Butterfly is one of the 100 butterfly is one of the races I used to do very frequently. It generally looks like it's the toughest of the strokes. I think people are always scared of butterfly,
Yeah.
but really when you do it right, it is beautiful and it is easy.
Yeah. Once you get that rhythm, and then maintain the rhythm, but it really is a beautiful swim.
And if you do not do it right, as I was talking about earlier, you will feel like you are carrying a grand piano on your back going into the wall. Your hips are meant to come up a little bit when you're swimming as an undulation, but it gets harder and harder for that to happen.
Very hard. Once the arm starts to get heavy, the core just dissipates, and then after that, it's really hard to create that flow and to keep that undulation going into the wall.
A great race here. Lane 5 and lane 6 are really pushing each other to the wall here. Wow. Wow. 3/100ths of a second separates first and second there.
Really great swims for these ladies.
Both had really great swims. Talon from the Bahamas dropped 7 seconds. Wow.
With that first tag in 103.25 of Barbados.
Oh, wow. I don't even... Is that right? I don't feel like those times are right.
I think there was a miscalculation on her touch, so they're probably going to go by the official time. So behind, even though you have the pads, which stops it electronically, you also have officials and timekeepers behind the blocks as well. So they are the backups. So if there's anything wrong, their splits will be the official ones moving forward.
And that's part of how an event becomes FINA qualified, and why we see our 18-year-olds here. It's part of making sure that these times are legal and
Yes.
and can be compared to other times outside of this meet.
Ladies, heat 1.
So we'll definitely have to go back and look at those times, those official times once they release them. So we have heat 2 now with across the board, it looks like just one 11-year-old in this heat.
Yes.
And the rest would be at the top of their age group. So have a little bit of experience here.
Anya in lane 5 was second in this event last year, so she's definitely looking to make her mark before she ages up next. next year.
She's entered with a 110, so faster than what we saw just now in that previous heat. We'll see if that continues. I mean, looks great going out.
She is moving.
And it's my mistake. Heat number
32.22.
in the water. Heat number
So
one.
right now, I mean, if she comes back and let's say a 35, she'll be looking great.
We have Kia in lane 6. We saw her earlier in that 200 breaststroke. She's coming back for a sprint. Giant breaststrokes are very similar with the underwalkers and the elongation of the body moving up and down.
In theory, they're supposed to be similar. In practice, Ariana cannot do breaststroke.
It was all, yeah. I used a lot of my butterfly to prep for my breaststroke events because of that undulation. It's going to lead. Anya with a 110.56.
So just a little bit faster than her entry time there.
Definitely looking happy for that start.
The disqualification report. Event 7, Heat 1, Lane 4. Disqualification report. And getting ready.
Well, it's going back to the 15, 17, 200 breaststroke.
At block number 3, Alessandra Bazzoni at block number 4. Harold Simmons takes block 5. 6 is Jathan Winterdahl.
We'll have to look into that a little bit more and see what happened there.
Usually for disqualification for breaststroke, it's either a one-hand touch. Sometimes the kick is not coming together, and it's more of a scissors kick, especially when you get tired. The technique starts to go, or it could just be a false start. But
Interesting for it to be such a delayed report. So we'll have to look and see. Potentially, it was a touch, and the officials were debating on it. I'm not sure about it this week, but I know some meets they go back and watch video
yes,
to confirm that the disqualification.
up until a while ago, we could not use video to do that, and then during the process changed the regulation, so we could do that. And we caught so many people in the breaststrokes and the butterflies. Just, I think that little butterfly kick at the end.
I think it was a blessing for a lot of people and a curse for some people.
Yes, very much so. Because a lot of people didn't even know they did it to that extent until they got disqualified.
Especially when you talk about getting tired.
Yes.
Your body is kind of, it goes into just motoring along. You're not thinking as strongly as you should about your stroke staying together.
When you're coming into the wall, you're really tired. That's where the butterfly and the breaststroke really come together with those high hips.
Yep.
And the butterfly kick.
And again, as we were talking about earlier, in breaststroke and butterfly, you do that two-hand touch, but you want to get off the wall as fast as possible, and sometimes people are trying to move too fast and can't quite get both hands on the wall at the same time, and that unfortunately is disqualification. Really, lane 5, Harold Simmons is out on his own.
That's going to be a really great swim for him.
Yeah, wow. Almost an exact 2-second drop by him just now. What a great swim by him. And 4 seconds ahead of second place. So we'll see what this second heat does, but a 4-second difference in 100 is phenomenal. It looks like Christian Joseph out of the Bahamas as well is also coming in with a 106.89. So we might see a great race between them this evening, depending on how Kristen does this morning. A lot of these boys are 12 again, so second time doing this around, and they have experience. That first year in 11-12 is tough. It's your first ever experience in an international competition for most of these kids.
And with that, the next heat is
Our top
going to
seed
be the
is
next
Christian
event.
Joseph in lane 5. We saw him earlier in that 200 breaststroke. He was out in lane 0 taking that early lead.
How are these people doing both?
The breaststroke was a warm-up for the boys.
That's insane.
Good job, Joseph.
Absolutely impressive.
He is looking very strong in this first 50.
That was his first time swimming the 200 breaststroke as well, so.
And he made finals. It'd be really impressive for him to see that double again tonight.
Oh, to be 11-12 and have this energy again.
a rush in lane 6. He's definitely trying to hold on, trying to get that second position. He has Joseph in his eye line.
That is the good part about butterflies. You can see in front of you. I do know some butterflies also breeze to the side. I tried it for some time. It keeps you a little bit lower. Wow.
5.9.
And that was the overall time
Really great swim.
in preliminaries for the 11
So Tristan gets a second best time since he came into the 200 breast with no time.
Yeah.
2 best times.
He's going to have a really great afternoon session.
Just a little bit when the official results.
But also you have to remember that the afternoon session is going to go a little bit faster. So he's going to have less time. So hopefully his coach is prepping him through that, talking him through what that's going to look like.
Alexandria Cargo at block number 3, Jamaica.
Bahamas is really trying to come out to get their 6th consecutive win. We have a lot of Bahamians coming into finals, not just 7th and 8th, but really those top spots.
Yep, every spot is going to matter. So as they introduce this heat of 13-14 women, the sponsor for the 100 butterfly is Father and Sons Yacht Service. Looking for a professional and reliable company to maintain and manage your yacht or watercraft? Then contact Father and Sons Yacht Service for full maintenance and management of watercrafts for the active owner. We offer engine repairs, mechanical, electronics, paint work, and general services. That's Father and Sons Yacht Service. If you want to gift me a yacht, I will take it. Thank you.
The first heat of 1400 meter butterfly.
So lane 1, again, Eva Knox is coming in with no time here. So we have no idea what she'll be able to do.
Lane 5 was actually disqualified in this event last year. So it is a redemption swim trying to get into finals. But it is Alexandria holding out. Going with a 31.99 for that first pick. He's trying to get into finals tonight.
Absolute excellent first 50 by her. She's very in control of her stroke here.
Matilda is definitely trying to get back into that top position, but she is being challenged by Mila in lane 8 as well. This is what I spoke about the orange being very heavy and the butterfly race.
Yep.
You can see it. It's all about that core and tempo.
Wow.
Oh. It is Matilda with a 109.651.
Matilda.
What an excellent back end there.
Yes.
Setting a challenge 109.61.
Very nice.
And heat number 2 getting ready to
Alexandra's
go.
strategy worked out. She ended up 3rd in that event by going up really fast for 31.99 for that first 50.
Number 3, block 4.
It's definitely a gamble to do that, especially in butterfly. When you fall apart, sometimes you feel like you're going up and down vertically.
Sometimes you're not going to make it. Like,
No.
I'm literally not going to make it.
There have been times that I have felt that way.
Jeez. By the grace of God, I made it to the wall.
I'm almost certain that it's just the current that exists in the pool that makes it that I get to the wall.
That would hurt, yeah.
I'm pretty sure that happened in a 200 IM to me once. It was the current alone.
Not in the butterfly leg.
No. In the breaststroke. My coach was like, "You're never doing that again."
Oh. I remember doing 2 IM on my backstroke. I was in lane 8 right beside my coach. And I remember him looking at me and just shaking his head. I was like, oh.
And then having 2 more 50s to go.
Oh. It happens to everybody, guys.
We cannot be great at everything.
Nope. This is heat 2 of 2.
So Malia in lane 5 is going to be going out real fast. You just saw 109 happen before. So if she wants to be in that middle lane, she'll need to make sure she's at least faster than that.
Yeah.
Oh, wow. And it looked like Jaya Simmons in lane 4 was actually out fast.
So she definitely saw the 31.99 in the previous heat, and she decided to go for it. The rest of the pack is catching up. Her arms are starting to look heavy.
So again, she probably went with a similar strategy and lie and die. That's what I call it.
And it was a good strategy.
Awesome. Wow.
106.46 for Simmons from Barbados. That's a fantastic swim.
And according
2
to
second
my
drop.
notes, they're not official, but it looks like
I love
she
this.
has the center lane tonight.
Jai Simmons came in with a 108.46 and just swam a 106.46.
Yeah.
I
Top
love that.
seed for tonight. How
Getting
excited
ready
would
at the
you be?
starting blocks now. The gentlemen 13 and
For this
14,
event
Jay
later on
Jerome
today.
at block number 1. Ruben Edwards at block 2.
Now we're moving on
Mason
to the
Gabriel at
13,
block number 3.
14,
Nolan
100
Barrett at 4.
butterfly.
Block number 5 is Ocean Van Loon. Jaden
Ocean
Davis
Van
at block
Loon, we
number
just
6.
saw him
Chris
in the 200
Jarrett
breaststroke.
Silverman at block number 7.
What on earth?
Lee at block number 8. And Noah Dorville at block number 9.
I think he's the first Ocean I've ever met as a first name.
I like that name.
Yeah.
Gentlemen, 13 and 14, 100-meter butterfly. Heat 1.
So the underwaters are not just for the 50. Sometimes people like to just hold it for one leg. But it should be for the entire race. So you can see in this 100, them trying to force that 15 off the dive. And again, off the turn.
Absolutely. And again, saving you energy. It might feel like it's harder, but when you're coming off that wall, you have to think about the current that all of those men are bringing into the wall. You're kind of get under that. If you pop right up, you're hitting that like a wall.
Yep. Especially when your arms start to fatigue at the end of the race. Saving 2 to 3 strokes by staying on the water at the turn will definitely help you get stronger.
It is
28.54 for that split. Really nice.
And JD Davis passed that 25-meter mark, bringing it home.
I love the Caribbean. Lane 6 is swimming without any goggles.
I love that.
I used to do that growing up.
Old school.
Right?
That is old
Chlorine
school.
started to attack you.
JD Davis in the run.
That was never me, but
Ooh.
And we're going to take Ocean Van Loon taking
Wow,
over that
Ocean.
finish tag.
and I misspoke. He was in the 50 backstroke, so that makes sense.
101.53. Really good time for Ocean.
Great swim. I mean, he's just swam the 50 backstroke and top seed there, and then coming into this race.
Yeah.
Boy, oh boy, energy.
Gentlemen, 13 and 14 100-meter butterfly. Heat 2, the deciding heat.
So again, all those gentlemen standing behind the blocks, they watched that first race. We have Victor Ashby in lane 5 coming in under a minute, only entry under a minute. Can he do it again?
He was 5th in this event last year, so to come back a year later and now top seed. I can't imagine the work that he's put in this last year.
How the tables turn.
15 to 17 ladies taking ownership of the starting blocks right now.
Wow.
It is Miles taking out that early lead of 27.5.
27.5. Wow.
Second fastest than the previous heat, opened by Ocean. And the rest of the pack is catching him now.
Sometimes if your strength is that front end speed, you just have to go into it and
Yeah. Let go and let God. And it is Kennedy in lane 7 trying to make his move, followed by Ashton in lane 5. You can hear the spectators getting up for this prelim session.
wow. And Ashby, wow.
Nice.
Just a little bit over.
Victor Ashby.
What was really great is that Ashby swam his race. He waited that first 50 and he took this last 50 and did what he needed to do to get his hands on the wall for first.
That will definitely be a great race this evening between
Yeah.
Mills, Ashby, and Ocean all in the same.
It would be great if we can have 3 guys under a minute.
I think they potentially push themselves to do that.
Yeah.
The power of your country behind you and cheering you on, and then having those people next to you.
It is unreal, and it's something that's missed in international at the higher levels.
Yeah.
Because usually after travel, there's not that many spectators. It's usually 1 or 2 people. That's why we really have to come together as a Caribbean and support each other in
Exactly.
Olympics and Worlds.
Especially when you're in a big crowd. Your parents can share as loud as they want to, but
You're not gonna hear.
they're not going to hear.
And I doubt if they want us
Sorry.
to bring the pats and the pawns.
No. I'm pretty sure if my parents brought cowbells, they would say absolutely not. Not here.
Nah.
So we have the 15 and 17 girls now here. We've got 3 heats of this, so only 8 lanes available for this evening. So it's going to be really important to try and get at least top 3 time-wise in each of the heats to make sure that you get a spot.
And oh my, taking it out. Layla Brown, Trinidad and Tobago.
Faith in lane 8 was the only one new to this 15 and 17 category. The rest of these ladies have been in there for a year or two. We're really going to see Bahamas trying to make a move in lane 7.
And again, they can't see her. She can't see them. So she's really swimming her race here and pushing towards the end and potentially third place here.
Ooh, good touch. 105.66 for Trinidad.
Trinidad and Tobago setting the challenge.
Brownie did a really great swim to get her hands on the wall and where she needed to be.
And the starting blocks right now, Madeline Conley at block number 2. Denise Green at block 3, block number 4, Davia Richardson. Sierra Broadbelt at block number 5, Sarah Dowden at block 6, Christiania Shirley at block number 7. And Amasia
We're going to see a recap of the end of this race. Really watch Brownie's touch as she accelerates for the last 5 meters into the wall.
Wow.
To out-touch the rest of her competitors.
Great finish there. That's timed really well.
We're back again, lane 5, Broadbelt. She actually won this event last year in 13-14. We saw her dominate in that 50 backstroke earlier today.
That's the network you're looking
She's got
for.
that speed behind her.
In lowercase, SWIM 24, swim 24.
And it looks like we had a scratch in lane 4. Yeah, Richardson.
Is the network you're looking for.
Coming in under all together as they turn at this 50 mark.
There, as far as what's going on here at the CARIFTA swimming
Broadbelt just a little bit under that 30 mark.
There's the split, 29 and change.
She looks still really great control of her stroke here.
Yeah. Shirley in lane 7 is trying to go with her, trying to pick up her tempo. You can see it's picking up just a little bit with 12 and a half left to go.
I am so jealous of these people that have back end speed.
It really is a gift. But it is Broadbelt holding strong.
There it is, 104.68. Broadbelt now.
Great swim for Broadbelt to come back and to hold her own in that last 25.
Yeah.
And to really push when she needed to in that last 10 meters.
Absolutely. I think definitely going to be a great race tonight for her again. Hopefully with a little bit of rest this afternoon, coming back and going a little bit faster.
Angelique Leedy at block number 3. Alika Prasad at block number 4. Jillian Crooks takes block 5. Block number 6, Renishka Gibbs.
If you've heard the name Crooks from lane 5, Cayman Islands, you may remember her older brother, Jordan Crooks. He's the first Cayman Island to win a world championship in the 50 freestyle in Australia, 2022. And so this is his younger swimmer coming back, but Cayman is used to world record holders. We already know Sean Fraser.
Yep.
My word.
They're such a small country. They sure do pump out some great swimmers.
Really great swimmers.
Jordan just swimming at NCAAs is absolutely swimming fast, and hopefully he has some time to watch his sister race this evening.
That'd be really great because she's always there in the stands watching him. But it is Jillian in lane 5 going out for that early speed. We have Gibbs in lane 6. We saw her in that 200 breaststroke. She's back in that butterfly.
Wow, what a great first 50. 28, wow.
28, a second faster than the other Cayman teammate, Broadbelt, in the previous meet. She's very close to the record that we had earlier, 102. She's going to be close to it if she can do it in the morning.
Wow, to be able to get that pressure off, the record is yours, and then you go in tonight and you have fun.
Yes.
Some of my best swims.
She is very close.
She is moving. Wow.
Down to
Wow, 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 wow.
101.76. Wow, we definitely have to check with the officials, but I believe that is unofficially a new record.
I would almost, yep.
Listen to
Here we go.
Sabrina Lynn of Jamaica, 102.14.
Yep.
Used to have the record. I believe we see a new meet record.
There we go. New meet record by Jillian Crooks. So not just her brother dominating. She said, "Me too,
Me too. Me too. It's always easier when you have an older sibling and they just take the lead, and you know the path has already been set. I just need to follow.
Exactly.
Starting blocks right now. To Harry Williams at block number 2, Ashley Johnson.
Really great race. And the previous record holder, Sabrina Lynn, you're going to see her in that 18 and over category. She's going to answer. Even though it is an age group championships, when you reach internationally, you race against everybody. Yep, definitely want to be the fastest in the Caribbean.
Absolute great race there. Now we're looking at the 15-17 boys, so hopefully we'll see a little bit more extended underwaters again.
Yeah.
Really getting out to that 15, and you see that there.
And 3 heats of the gentlemen, 15 to 17.
So we have 3 heats again, trying to get one of the 8 lanes for this evening. Top seed in this race is Christian Jerome out of Haiti.
He was second last year in that 13-14 event. So to have him come in and be the top 3 fastest time is phenomenal. But I also think to have representation, because Haiti has definitely been getting better over the years.
Absolutely.
I know when I swam, I rarely saw a Haitian swimmer. And now to have teams and relays, it's really fantastic for the country.
Absolutely. It's very exciting for them and for him to be a top seed too. So
Yes.
making sure that name and flag is known.
Yep. And he's definitely going to do that.
Wow.
55.90. That's a fantastic morning swim for
Excellent swim.
And with that, heat number 2 watching that.
Mackenzie from Jamaica went in for that second position, and then Curacao, Jayan holding on for that third.
Block 4, block 5 is Christian Dorville. Ethan Stubbs Green at block number 6. Elisha Digley at block number 7. And Tarek Wintergall at block number 8.
So we'll have to see here what Tristan Dorval does out of St. Lucia. Again, another small country that doesn't usually have a lot of athletes. For him to be the top seed here, but we'll see how he responds to that 55.
Lane 5 as well. St. Lucia's won too.
Oh, wow.
That's really fantastic. And St. Lucia really has been changing over the last years. Their federation has changed, the support for the athletes, and you can see the mentality in these athletes change when they're at the international stage.
It does really take a whole village, so to have a federation behind you and supporting you and giving you what you need to be competitive.
Yeah.
Very important. Really even race here across the board. But St. Lucia's touching first. Ooh, 26-44.
And it is St. Lucia who's holding on ahead of Antigua. But Darren from Trinidad is trying to get into the mix as well. They know the time they have to beat from the previous heat.
So lane 5 is really close to that lane line.
Yes.
Needs to make sure that tonight he's swimming down the middle of the lane.
You don't want any accidents, and then you tap the lane line on accident. Great touch by Ethan from
Wow.
Antigua.
Excellent.
Oh,
56-33.
the scoreboard has been corrected, and it will be Tristan in lane 5 from St. Lucia with 56.33.
So just about a half a second slower than we saw Christian Jerome go in the first heat.
Yeah.
But again, it's not about being the fastest time necessarily, just getting a lane tonight.
Zachary Anthony takes block 4. Anthony Destany, block number 5. Block number 6 is Marvin
This is the
Johnson.
last heat of the men's 15 and 1700 yard, 100-meter butterfly. We're going to see lane 5 from St. Lucia. Again, this is his first year in 15 and 17. He won this event last year in 13-14 category.
I'm sorry. A 54.96 at 15.
15.
97. I'm sorry. What?
At 15.
Huh?
Well, he did it last year, so maybe 14.
Oh my word.
Beautiful start for him and the rest of the gentlemen in this heat.
Mr. and Mrs. Destang, I need to know what you're feeding Antoine.
Beautiful underwater. He made it to that 15 and he made it look so effortless.
Wow, his butterfly is absolutely beautiful. Great stroke.
The chin right on that wave on the water. Look at his hips. I want to see his underwaters for the second 50. Come on, Antoine.
Wow.
Nice.
Oh my, wow.
Beautiful.
About 10 meters underwater. That is amazing.
Definitely one to watch for the future moving forward, especially for Olympics coming up as well.
Absolutely.
We're going to see Johnson trying to hold on from Bahamas right beside him. Antoine is fading just a little bit, but not enough for Johnson to catch him in lane 6. It's going to be down to the touch.
Wow, what a finish.
And Johnson did it. Down to the touch.
56-4.
Very nice to him. And we don't know Antoine's strategy, if it was just to get out in front and just coast the last 5. But I think he's going to have a really great swim later tonight.
So it looks like Marvin actually touched first just now. So,
yeah.
Wow.
The last 10, Antoine started to slow down his tempo just a little bit. And it allowed Johnson to catch him in that last 10 to out-touch him at the wall.
And I know Marvin Johnson has international experience. He has represented the Bahamas at a larger meet. So having that under your belt, too, it gives you great experience going into prelims, knowing what you have to do.
Really nice. It's going to be a great race tonight.
So again, we have 18 and over here swimming the 100 butterfly. Whatever they're kind of trying to go for and whatever meet they're trying to qualify for. It's exciting to see more women and men in this age group pushing.
Yes, especially for our Caribbean. It's going to bode well
usually
for
unheard of.
Yeah.
2 heats of the senior ladies, 2 heats of the senior gentlemen coming up.
So Gabrielle Hisson, apologies if I pronounced that incorrectly, from Grenada is the top seed here in this first seed at 105.85.
Yeah. Everybody but McKaylee in lane 6 is 18. So they were here last year. So it's really great for that continuity as well, like you said, to have that competition at this time of the year.
And for the younger kids to be able to see, like, it is possible. I can do that.
Yes.
I remember when we were coming up, there weren't very many older athletes in the Caribbean that we could look up to.
And you wouldn't get to meet them because they'll be at bigger competitions.
Yep.
You only see them on TV or from a distance. And it's going to be McKaylee in lane 6 holding out for that second position. Hyson in lane 5. 105.85 is her seat time.
Just a little bit off of that at 106.
Nice. Still a good swim for Hyson.
Another thing that's really cool about CARIFTA games, and especially for these 18 and overs that are going on to international competition, sometimes you don't get the opportunity to get a second swim. You only get the prelim. So being able to have that second swim tonight is really cool.
It's true, because you learn so much experience and you have to wait maybe months before you get to put it into practice again.
Exactly.
So keep your eyes in lane 5. She's the one that got the record in 2022 that Julian Crooks just broke. That is lane 5, Sabrina Lynn.
So she has a point to prove here in getting out fast and being the fastest in the 100 butterfly in the Caribbean.
And if it gets a little bit thirsty, they do have drinks on sale in the stadium. Unfortunately, we cannot get any drinks or any paraphernalia in the stadium.
And it is Lynn looking strong, trying to take that early lead.
And it is there and ready.
Great turn there. Timed very well.
28.
Great underwater as well. Stayed under past the flag.
28.72 for her. Right where Jillian was earlier today.
What an amazing swim. She's really just taken off.
Talk about a big breakaway.
You also find a lot of times when you get older, you're able to see a closer of an even split.
Yes. And it will be Sabrina with a 102.03. She was right there, got a bit tired in that last 7 meters, but this afternoon with more rest, we should definitely be able to see her get back to that 101 or hopefully that 00.
Also, it's her first meet, her first race of the meet, so
Yeah.
getting those cobwebs shaken off.
It really is necessary when you get older. Feel the cobwebs.
So now we actually do have 2 heats of this 18 and over 100 butterfly. Again, so impressed that we have enough gentlemen to be doing the second heat. Camera down and
Assistants
TV down.
in the commentary area. As we said earlier today, guys, it is very windy. It is very windy, and these athletes are doing best times or close to it with these conditions. It's a phenomenal feat.
Yeah, absolutely. And, you know, you get kind of a little bit of a wind advantage going out, but coming back, it's in the butterfly. Uh-oh.
Getting out in that early lead. We're going to see Grenada. Zachary Gresham, he actually swam a competition last weekend and did phenomenal in that yard competition.
Great swim here by Grenada.
Lane 5, it is Zachary. Very nice swim. He's usually a backstroke specialist, so to see him branching out into the butterflies is really a great treat.
Very cool.
And with that, heat number 2, the deciding heat. Stefano Mitchell at block number 3. Joshua Murray hits block number 4. Emmanuel Jackson at 5. Johan Matthew Montemaro at block number 6. At block number 7, Thomas Bowers. Eric Gordillo at block number 8.
So we're seeing a second heat here of 18 and over.
100 butterfly, heat 2.
Oh my gracious, Joshua Murray's 22. I remember him when he was, oh Lord. I love that there's 3 Bahamians in this, 4 18 and overs in this. That really shows that they are working towards having a little bit of an older group here.
Yes, we saw Gadsden earlier today in that 200 breaststroke. Maybe there's a bigger relationship than the 1500, but there still is a relationship there.
How are people doing these things? I would have never been in a 200 breast and 100 fly.
I think breaststroke can go to fly, but fly to breast may be a bit tricky.
Yeah.
And it's that outside smoke from Guatemala. Gordillo is a freestyle specialist in that 200, 400, and 800 at Pan Am's and Commonwealth Youth Games. We're going to see him doing a really great butterfly with a 56.87.
Wow. And normally we wouldn't see Guatemala at a CARIFTA Games, but again, they are trying to make sure that everybody in the Caribbean has an opportunity to get in a race. And so, excellent opportunity for those older boys to really get global experience.
Really great for Bahamas to see that vision. Because it's not just one country succeeding, it's the entire Caribbean.
And it's going to be Antigua Barbuda at block number 1.
And it is relay time.
My favorite time of the year.
15 and 17, 400-meter freestyle relay.
So it's always interesting to see how countries and teams decide to put their team together.
Yeah.
There's timing and is really important in terms of where you put your workhorse or the strongest 100 freestyler.
Yeah.
You lead them off.
Yeah.
Do you put them at the end to try and run anybody down? It's always interesting to see the strategy behind it. I know I was always usually last.
Usually, right?
I would go fourth on the relay.
I was usually second and third.
The nerves of standing behind the blocks and watching 3 other people swim 100 freestyle get out of the pool and look exhausted and know that you still have to do it.
Much less to see everybody catching up to the lead that was there. And you're
Yeah.
like, okay, it's up to me.
Yeah,
It is up to me.
pressure's on. But boy, did I love that.
Oh, my word. Some people thrive in it. We really do.
Yeah, I think it's come down to haunt me now in my professional life. I thrive on pressure, aka procrastination.
Keep your eyes in lane 5 from Cayman. We just saw Jillian Crooks. She just got that record in the 100 butterfly, as well as Robert will be going second. We've heard her name.
Jillian Crooks leading off. Her brother, again, an amazing sprint freestyler.
Yeah.
So based on that 100 fly, just now we're going to see a really great 100 freestyle out of
Really
her.
great. I think her C time is a 55 low, so
Wow.
she should be right there.
And again, she just got out of her 100 butterfly.
I'm
So
not sure she warmed down.
she's probably still dripping wet.
It's a long distance to the end of that 50 to warm down and run back up.
And it looks like we are going to go straight to finals with 8 teams.
Just kidding.
We will not swim the 15 to 17 ladies.
So it looks like one of the relays.
And they are super excited.
Yeah. So it looks like one of the relays, I'm not sure which one, is not going to participate. So now the gentlemen who thought they had probably about 4 or 5 minutes before they race are now stepping up behind the block. But maybe not.
I think as long as all the coaches decide to go straight final, I think it's a good decision, because these ladies have swum multiple events already for the day. This relay would extend that, and it's already 11:25.
Right. And while it is very important to have those relays because they are worth a lot of points,
Yes.
you want to make sure that you're protecting your swimmers. This is a long meet. You don't want to add more to their plate.
On the first day. Not at all, but the gentlemen look like they will be swimming.
We are going to bid our referees and officials thank you for this morning's competition. That was the stand-up whistle for our referees and officials.
It looks like
The men are not swimming. I don't think anybody told the men.
We're a little bit confused here because the men are walking out to the blocks, but the announcer just said that the officials are going to be leaving. So
A bit of a miscommunication, but there are the same amount of entries between female and male.
And the gentlemen are going to go straight to finals.
So they should put them straight to finals as well.
So both the ladies 15 to 17 and the gentlemen 15 to 17, 400 meter freestyle.
So it seems that these boys don't know.
I think it is a good choice for the first day. The sun is getting pretty hot out here now. We've already had somebody cramp up from dehydration. These guys have been swimming for 2 hours, going on 2.5.
Apparently we had.
If they don't need to swim this morning for the relay, I think it's a good decision to go to finals.
Another site that no, we didn't.
So we're hanging on for a second here.
In just a moment.
Looks like they're collaborating with officials and coaches probably to see if this relay will go off or not. Again, there are 9 teams, so
and the issue at
technically you should only have 8 in the final.
That's what we're
so
talking about here.
Just
and
one team wouldn't make
teams in the heat sheet. And if we only have 8 teams, we will go straight to finals.
Oh, so even there were 9 in the women.
9 teams,
one of the countries did not show up.
Unknown which one it was.
To decide who the 8 teams are.
But if they have 9, then they should go. Oh, I see hands cheering.
They're gonna,
and there's the applause from the men.
Is that
Nobody's happy about going to finals without having to swim this morning.
We've got some boys dancing in the background.
Like 15 to 17 age group category going straight to
finals.
That's hilarious.
Referees and officials.
So very cool to watch the boys be excited about having to swim this morning.
They're all coming together. It's not just Kurt's by team. All the men are coming together.
All the countries are celebrating together. I mean, a lot of these boys that are on that relays have already swam today at least one event, if not 2. So to be able to just go straight to finals, they can get home, get some rest before finals start tonight at 6 p.m.
It is amazing. Thank you all for being with us. We were very excited over prelim session 1. It was truly fantastic to start off this competition. We had a record in the 100 butterfly from Gillian Crooks that was exceptional in the morning, and we had lots of best times as well. We'll see you guys tonight. There'll be lots of fast swimming, lots of entertainment, and then that fantastic relay that we did not get to see this morning will be swum tonight. So definitely come back with us later tonight for the excitement. We'll see you then.